G'day everyone, my name is Isaac and welcome back to Season 2 of the Adrenaline GT GT3 Championship. We are here for Round 2 at St Croix and all the Lobby B action. And this week, so that I don't go insane on my own, I've brought along a friend, a co-host, and a brilliant friend of the show. Well, I could say he's a brilliant friend of the show. He's actually one of the runners, the founders and the head of AGT. It's Justin. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, Isaac. Thanks for the flattering start there. You're already making me blush, so not sure I have much more words after this.
that's my plan. Flatter you. Alright, let's have a look at our track stats. We'll jump straight into it. Let's have a look at our track stats. So we've got 7 kilometres, pretty much on the nose of tarmac around here. Far cry from the 25 kilometres we did last week. And only 14 turns, which again, far cry from the 97 turns we did last week at the Nordschleife. So a little bit less circuit for our drivers to try and navigate this week. And a mandatory soft tyre as well. So we'll see, most people probably go soft to soft. Some people did a medium soft or soft medium strategy in Lobby A as well. So a bit of a mixed up strategy. Let's have a look at our grid. And Sun's RT Vroom lines up on pole for this one. His first AGT Lobby pole in that Lambo. So he's making that Lambo nice and quick. And he's got ISO Energy on the front row with him. Bazar on his return. He missed out last week and he's back this week in Lobby B. He is in 3rd. Dragons 210 in 4th. Porsche GT in 5th. Last week's race winner. OGR Stealth in 6th, looking to make a bit of a bounce back this week. BMF Pyrodant in 7th. Lucene Smith in 8th. Irish Rebel 9th. FBR Rusty Boy in 10th. CFR Grim Death in 11th. Jelly Mechanic 12th. Alba 13th. HC Renegade 14th. And B Purden in 15th. And only 2.1 seconds between the grid. So very, very much a far cry, as we saw in Lobby A, very much a far cry from the massive, almost minute gaps we saw in qualifying last week. Justin, the grid is a lot closer this week, and with less than a second between the top 7, it's going to be a good race.
It sure is, yeah. Definitely a smaller gap in Lobby B than we saw in Lobby A. I think it was 4.3 seconds separating the field in Lobby A. So, yeah, there should be a lot of action in Lobby B here this week, and I'm definitely looking forward to watching it all unfold.
All right, well, with that said, let's get into it. All right, here we go. And it looks like our leaders have gone early, and Sun's RT Room has already gapped the field. The lights have only just gone out, but we've had the start glitch that happens so many times on this game. And typically that would be a red flag, but it looks like it hasn't been called this time. So Sun's RT Vroom then gets a bit of a head start and has a massive gap to the cars behind as they head away for this one. ISO Energy in 2nd, and everyone else still sort of bunched up. Bazar's chosen the Renault for this season, so an interesting choice off the bat straight away for him in this one. Definitely a car. I don't know if we've seen many other people choose that car, so a unique choice. Most popular at the moment, I believe, is the BMW, the Porsche, and the Lexus is another one that's quite popular, I believe, Justin.
Yeah, those are the top 3 cars for this season across the 3 lobbies, and I think in a close 4th is the Nissan GTR. So, yeah, a bit more variety in cars this season, and as you say, an interesting choice from Bazza there to run the Renault. I have run that car myself, and yeah, I didn't like it personally. Very loose for my liking, although I haven't tried it since the new BOP changes, so maybe it's a little bit easier to drive now. But yeah, we'll see how he goes in this race, as we see Pyrodant nearly getting back into the back of Stealth there.
Yeah, this is a very good little battle pack early on in this race. This battle pack for 6th position. Obviously, OGR Stealth looking for a strong race this week after a bit of a difficult one at the Nordschleife and the Nürburgring last week. BMF Pyrodant found himself in Lobby C last week and had a very, very strong race, and now as a result he's up in Lobby B this week. So great to see him back up in Lobby B. These guys battling it out. Lucene Smith not too far behind as well in that 8th place. And then we've got Irish Rebel only up 1 spot at the start of this one into 9th. And there's a little bit of lag from Lucene Smith. The the German not quite the connection that he wants. And that's OGR Stealth is now behind BMF Pirate. He's going to go side by side with Lucien Smith, who's going to get around him. That was a very bold overtake from Lucien Smith there to get past OGR Stealth. And now he's got Irish Rebel right in behind him. So we'll have to keep an eye on this battle. This looks like it's getting very racy early on here in the early stages of this one.
Yes, I say I don't want to give too much spoilers away, but yes, let's just keep the camera on stealthy as things are about to go down.
Oh, Irish Rebel and Rusty Boy getting side by side in the Ferraris. This is great stuff here so far. Irish Rebel with a little bit. Yeah, they're trying to find a way through. Rusty Boy very wide through that hand. It gets a little bit out of whack. He's in the wall. Oh, in the exit of the corner, in the wall. And then that is Irish Rebel. Oh, no! Irish Rebel has turned. What is going on here? Irish Rebel got into the side of OGR Stealth, turned him around. And that has meant that there is absolute chaos at the back of this field. Jelly Mechanic facing the wrong way. OGR Stealth facing the wrong way. He now drops down to last and will get rolling again. That is absolutely... I'm just trying to process what I just watched. That was crazy.
Carnage.
Absolute carnage. That is the best word for it. And poor OGR Stealth finds himself now down the order as a result of contact with what looked like Irish Rebel getting inside him, just going very late on the brakes into that corner, carrying way too much speed in that Ferrari. And just that unfortunate outside wall sort of sticks out where you don't want it to. And he got caught out, he got spun and then clipped that wall, and then that resulted in, yeah, as you said, utter carnage. So we'll have to see what the stewards have to say about that one. That looked very messy, and I'd hate to be in the stewards box for that one to try and piece together what actually happened there to bring that all together, because that was, yeah, massive incident. This is great for our guys up the front. So Suns RT Vroom still running away with this lead. I think we need to Polyphony need to implement a safety car into this game when we have incidents like that, because, man, it's just absolutely wild. Suns RT Vroom taking use of that blue flag glitch at the start and running away. He's disappearing into the distance. He's got Ice Energy not too far behind him. And then Bazza putting in the work early here. This is his first week back for Season 2 of AGT, and he's trying to make inroads already, but he's got Dragons 210 for company behind him. So these guys not too far off. Obviously, Bazza racing for Zero Motorsports. There's a yellow flag ahead. That is Suns RT Vroom. That is our race leader.
Oh, the leader.
Oh, I'm putting the curse on people again. I thought I might have been able to escape it for Season 2, and
there is no escaping it.
No escaping the...
Well, that is the exact same place that we saw Rusty Boy get out of shape and also spin and end up in the wall. So that's now two cars in the space of 2 laps that have lost it at that corner, at that same place.
Yeah, that certainly is. It's a very high speed corner there. You carry a lot of speed through there. You've got to have a lot of confidence in the car to be able to take that corner in a way that is both fast but also not going to unsettle. And obviously it's a very tricky corner, especially you got to get it right for 12 laps here. It's a long time, so it takes a lot of consistency, and it's just one small mistake, a little bit too much speed can bring you undone. This is a brilliant battle between Irish Rebel and Alba here. There's a little bit of side-by-side touching as they go through that very, very fast right hand. You're flat out through there. And Alba, who I believe races for FR Racing, but uses his own livery. So, yeah, uses his own unique with the Scottish flag on the roof. And he's got this nice battle going with Irish Rebel with a little bit of side-to-side contact there through that corner. But looks like settled down a little bit now. It's all happening down the field. Porsche GT right in behind FBI Rusty Boy, last week's race winner Porsche GT. So maybe not gelling with this track as much as he was in previous weeks. That's... Oh, what is going on there?
Oh, what's going on here? Oh, they're fighting for the pit lane.
Fighting for pit lane. I don't know. I feel like you don't share a boom, guys. You can just sort of go in single. It's not like you're fighting for, I want to be the lead car, but...
He's channeled his inner Max Verstappen there.
He has there, and just shoved his way past into the pit lane, but a nice interesting place to get an overtake. We'll see how this comes out. But yeah, very early stop for these two guys.
Well,
So,
these are the two that both crashed at the same place. So Rusty did one extra lap with damage and was
he
like, "No,
did.
I've had enough." And Sons has like, "I'm just gonna get this damage going right away."
And Rusty Boy running wide on the exit of turn 1. Both of them have gone for softs as well, I noticed, on the exit.
Oh wow, so that's going to be 2 stoppers for them.
Yeah, they're going to either that or they're going to have to run a very long time on those soft tyres, which I don't know. I can't do it,
No,
so I'll be
nah,
impressed
not
if they
9
can.
laps. No chance.
OGR Stealth has also come in for his stop, so he's got his mandatory stop out of the way. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully he can fight back through the field after that very unfortunate contact early on in this one. Porsche GT going at it with HC Renegade as a look around the outside of the BMW.
Well done.
Brilliant move. Another driver who had a very strong performance last week at the Nordschleife HC Renegade. These two guys kind of, with Irish Rebel, put on a clinic last week and just showed everyone sort of how it was done. Obviously, we're missing a couple big names as well this week. There's no Al Dusty, there's no Isaac Fogg, and I believe there's a couple names that are probably moved down to Lobby C this week as well. But there's no Prevails this season at all for the GT3s. He's only running the Mazda Roadsters from what I understand. There's no Jay Ballack this week either. And I haven't seen anything of X-Tanner, who I believe was promoted to, might have been promoted to Pro on the back of his strong result last season. I'm not entirely sure, but we haven't seen much of him either.
Yes, he was promoted from AM to Pro-Am for this season, but he is in Lobby C for this week's race. But I would just like to give a shout out to Porsche GT. He's only 16 years old. He's quite a young fella and still learning his craft in this game, but he has definitely cleaned up his racecraft quite a lot. So I'd like to give him a shout out for that and a special mention. And as we've seen in this last lap, that he's been able to go side by side and do some passing and get passed by HC Renegade without any dramas, which is a big testament to the changes that he's made and the progress that he's made over the last few races. So kudos, Porsche GT. Well done, mate.
100%. I think last season he was still learning, as we all do at some stage, and he's put a lot of work in the off season. I think he had a bit of a longer off season than everyone else. We see Bazza and Dragons 210 going trying to go side by side there. We had a little bit of a longer off season than everyone else, so he had a lot more time to work on his driving, and you can tell he's done that. And it was a testament to him last week to come out and win that first race, and he made a bit of a statement taking that win and just doing some clean racing with HC Renegade as well as going a long way just to show the progress that he's made and the work that he's put in. Very well.
Look at that Renault. That just dragged off the old Lexus there easily.
Very quick in a straight line, that Renault. I can see why he's picked it. He can just gap. He can just gap everyone in the straights. He's he's great move there up into second place for Bazza, looking to have a strong result. We saw this last season. Unfortunately, he got disconnected in that race. But the first round at Daytona, he was put in Lobby B and was really quick. I believe he qualified up the top of the order for that race. And then, unfortunately was disconnected and wasn't able to show his true pace, but then was put into Lobby A for the remainder of the season. I think we may see something similar here. Starts in Lobby B and, I don't know, maybe he just likes to play with his food a little bit for a little while. And we know he's a very quick guy and definitely...
Well, he is the only pro in a Lobby B this week.
Yes, he is, I think. And I think given the amount of pros we have, we may be seeing a few pros in Lobby B throughout the season. It's usually a Pro-Am affair, this one, but I think given the way that this league has grown and the amount of interest that we've had from a lot of fast drivers all over the world, but especially Australia and New Zealand, I think we're going to see...
there's definitely going to be a bit of that. Yeah, we've accumulated quite a few people now, and it's impossible to, at this stage, just keep all the pros in Lobby A, all the Pro-Ams in Lobby B. So there'll be a bit of bit of pros in Lobby B and a bit of pro-ams in Lobby C this season, as we're starting to see already in round 2.
Well, if you ever need someone for Lobby C, Justin, I'm never one to shy away from a
Yeah,
challenge.
you put your hand up for that.
Never one to shy away from a challenge. We'll happily fill in where needed, but yeah, no, I think it's a great way for the lower guys to get a bit of a learning experience as well, because these pro guys obviously are probably, you know, a similar pace to some of these pro-am guys, but their racecraft is just that that little bit better, as we can see with Bazza. Like, there's guys in here, as you can see, that are, you know, sort of on pace or around his pace, as we saw in qualifying, but his racecraft and his consistency is just that little bit better than, and that's what sets him apart and puts him in that pro category. So I think it's a great opportunity for, as we see him coming to the pits now, it's a great opportunity for, and everyone's going to follow him as well. You saw St Smith very sideways in that corner.
Wow, Lucene has definitely chewed up his fuel and a very thirsty M6.
Yeah, very, very thirsty.
So
M6.
hits Rebel, the old Ferrari as well, Alba. There's a few cars there that are a bit fuel hungry, and they probably will lose out in the pit cycle here.
They certainly will. Then I'll have to take a lot more fuel. There we go. Fuel in for St Smith. Bazza pulls away. ISO Energy is one of those guys in the BMW, so we'll have to see. He may actually get undercut by Bazza, given the amount of fuel that Bazza didn't have to take in that pit stop. So that'll be interesting, something to keep an eye on as well. But yes, as I was saying, brilliant learning opportunity for these pros, for these pro-ams to learn off the pros. And the same with Lobby C, brilliant opportunity for the AM guys to learn off the pro-ams and get a sort of sense of, you know, the pace and the way to battle. And I think it's going to be a positive experience for everyone all round, and sort of help build everyone up to, you know, they're already great, but to be even better, which is what we want to do. So ISO Energy currently leads the way in this race. HC Renegade in second, yet to pit in this one. Bazza are not too far behind him, actually, and has pitted. So he's now on a charge to try and catch, or to undercut, I should say, ISO Energy. Where is he? He is coming through the sort of the back straight sort of section now into that really long right-hander that we've seen a lot of cars go side by side throughout this week.
I suspect Energia will be on the mediums here, same with his teammate HC Renegade. It's quite difficult to get 6 laps full tilt on the softs here, so I'm suspecting in a few moments when these front 2 pit, we'll be seeing the medium tyre.
And there's yellow flags, I believe that is flying. Not sure what that's for. Oh, there's a car on the front straight that is. So as I believe that's whoever's in last place. It's FBR Rusty Boy.
No, he did do the softs. Impressive.
He did do the softs for 7 laps. So,
but he has chewed his fuel. 17 is very low. That BMW is very thirsty.
So where is Bazza? He's being held up by ISO Energy's teammate, HC Renegade, who gets into the wall.
He's in the wall.
Oh, that is unlucky, but that means that Bazza now jumps. So fuel going in for ISO Energy, but I think I've called this one quite well. There looks like there's going to be the undercut from Bazza, and it is. There is ISO Energy, and Bazza is up into the lead of this race. So the undercut and the fuel efficiency of that Renault has paid dividends, as he now finds himself in the lead of this one.
It sure has, Isaac. Yeah, definitely fuel efficient, that Renault. And the opposite end of the spectrum, we see that the M6 is quite a fuel thirsty beast. So, and I'm actually very interested to see what a HC Renegade's strategy is here. He still hasn't pitted, and it's halfway through lap 8. So,
yeah,
I mean, he must be on the medium tyre to be running this long. And as we saw on turn 1, he ran wide. And, I mean, on the last corner, ran wide and into the wall. So I think even the mediums, which he must be on, are even starting to die. So I think he's come in a little bit too late here.
Yeah, I think he's left himself out really long, and I think that's it's gonna be a challenge, because he's gonna have great tyre life at the end, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to make use of it on the soft tyres right at the end here. So St Smith, I would like to point out, has done a brilliant job and found himself up into currently in 4th place, will be 3rd place by the time HC Renegade pits. And he started... where did he start in this one? He started in 8th. So this has been a brilliant drive from him so far. Potentially podium for the lobby, which is absolutely brilliant. Dragons 210 currently in 5th. Irish Rebel looking for a bit of a comeback drive. That contact early with OGR Stealth, who has unfortunately retired from this race. So he's stepped away from this race after that early contact, I think, as it would be frustrating for anybody having that contact and then that outside wall just really inconveniently placed to sort of increase the blow. I think it was just a nice wide open gravel trap. I don't think there would have been any, it wouldn't have been as bad, but yeah, very unfortunate for him. But here we go, HC Renegade in now, so let's see where he comes out, because he's going to come out down the order. We've got Irish Rebel going past, BMF Pirate Ant's going to go past, Alba's going to go past, Porsche GT's going to go past. I think HC Renegade's going to find himself right down the order.
Yeah, he definitely made a strategic error there, Isaac. I think he stayed 1 lap too long on those mediums. Ideally, he would have wanted to run 7 laps on the mediums and then do the remaining 5 on the soft. But I'm sure he'll learn from that. But yeah, as you said, he's now come out well down the field, which isn't the ideal scenario.
No, it certainly is not. We'll see what sort of inroads he can make towards the end of this one. Potentially probably only, though, 1 place, which will be Sun's RT Room in front of him. Porsche GT is a fair way up the road from there and has got a lot of pace in that Nissan GTR, so I don't think he's going to really come under any pressure from HC Renegade unless we see his tyres fall off cliff. There you go, Porsche GT's just done his fastest lap of the race with a 2:09.4, so a lot of speed still in that Nissan GTR. So you can see there they are in the background, Sun's RT Room and HC Renegade not too far behind, but I think this is about it for HC Renegade. What he can see in front of him is probably as much as he'll be able to gain, which is another place inside the top 10. Looking now, we've got Dragons 210 and Irish Rebel battling it out. There's not too far behind is Irish Rebel towards the back end of this race in that Ferrari. He loved it so much in the Thursday series we did last season that he's decided he's going to move across to the GT3 series in it after he was in the Mercedes, the AMG last season, and that sort of didn't serve him well in the closing races. He I don't want to say struggled, but it was a little bit tail happy, and just sort of the rear end power that car had brought him undone in the final race at Dragon's Trail, as it did for a couple of the championship contenders. And I think he one of the more solid car, and he feels more planted in this thing, as you can see. Look at the gain that he has made on Dragons 210 here as they come down the front straight. He's going to have a look up the inside into turn 1. He pulls to the outside to have a look. They're side by side. Brilliant racing between these two drivers. And that is Irish Rebel up into 4th place for now.
Ooh, Dragons may have cut the corner there.
May slightly cut the corner. Had a look to cut back on him. Hasn't got a penalty for that. And he's having a look here. Dragons 210, maybe... No, not quite close enough through there. Takes the shallower line.
All right, Rebels wide though.
So better exit for Dragons 210 through that corner. They're going to go side by side. This is not a section you want to go side by side. We learnt this earlier on when Rusty Boy found himself in the outside fence. They're going to... Whoa, a massive slide for Irish Rebel. Has he held onto it? I think he has.
This is amazing racing from these two. They're still side by side.
Still going. And testament to these guys for avoiding contact with each other. Irish Rebel had a massive moment in that Ferrari and managed to keep it out of Dragons 210. It would have been very easy there to just use Dragons 210 as a little bit of a break.
See how much time they lost there battling each other, because Pyronan has come from nowhere and is right on the tail of them now.
Here he is, the other Lexus driver, and I believe he is a CP Motorsports driver, is BMF Pyronan potentially.
Yes, one of my teammates.
And yes, so he is putting in the work now to get past Dragons 210. This is greatly helping Irish Rebel, who's now run away, because these two guys are going at it towards the back end with only 2 to go after this. And Dragons 210 holds the inside line coming into this right-hander, and there we go. Holds the position 4 now. BMF Pirate Ant takes the ideal racing line though. But maybe just as another tyre life to quite hang on through that corner. I'm not sure where these guys pitted in relation to each other. You can see about lap 6 is when Pirate Ant came in. Dragons 210 came in also on lap 6. So they should have fairly identical tyre life, actually, these two. So they should be fairly evenly matched towards the end of this one. This is a very interesting battle. And if it gets held up for they get held up for too long, they could actually also invite Alba into this one.
I would say so, Isaac. Yeah, Alba is lurking in the background there and is definitely making ground on these two. But I would just like to shout out Irish Rebel as well. He is, in my books, the favourite for the Pro-Am title this year. Obviously, he had that unfortunate incident with BVL Shinobi on lap 2. Where he did just get into the rear right-hand corner of Shinobi, and Rebel did try and redress and lost quite a bit of time there in that. I don't think he realised that Shinobi ended up spinning around, so he was redressing for nothing. But yeah, Irish Rebel will definitely be one of the contenders for the Pro-Am title this season in the GT3s, in the Roadsters on Thursday, and also for the overall.
Yeah, and we'll have to keep a very close eye on that because, yeah, it's he showed a lot of pace last season, and I think he took a little bit of time in this one to get going again. But very close battling between these two, between Pirate Ant and Dragon Student. And they've got a lapped car in FBR Rusty Boy just in front of them as well, so that may factor into this battle, as Pirate Ant is now past Dragons 210, so he's up into 5th place in this one. But yes, as you said, Irish Rebel very much a favourite for the Pro-Am title, both in the GT3s, Roadsters, and overall. So keep an eye on that, especially with Mr. Awesome moving up to Pro status this season. He's one of his main rivals from last season is taken out of the picture, and we haven't seen much of Al Dusty this season. He's missed a couple races. I believe his work schedule just means that if he has to stay at work or he gets stuck, he doesn't quite make it home in time to race, which is disappointing. Oh, both cars into the wall.
They've done that again.
Both cars into the wall, and this is great for Alba, who is close right up to these guys. So he is really close with 1 lap to go here. Yeah, I would say Irish Rebel, Porsche GT, even an outside chance for me would be HC Renegade as well. He's had a bit of a more difficult week this week, but we saw what he could do last week at the Nordschleifer is the word I'm looking for. So we saw what he could do last week, so hopefully we can see a little bit more of that throughout the season. I believe he could be an outside contender come the final round at Bathurst. But we are on the final lap here, Justin. Again, it feels like it's just gone really quickly. We haven't... it feels like we've been going for about 10 minutes. We haven't had a lot of time. We've barely started. And we're already coming to a close.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Time just flies when we commentate these races. And yeah, we find ourselves on lap 12 again. And I've only had a couple of blinks of my eye. But yeah, as you see, we go down the field there. Unfortunately, all the guys caught up on that lap 2 incidents find themselves at the back of the pack. And as we move our way forward here, we see the only pro in the field, Bazza, he's showing his credentials, and his class has come through in the end, and he's pulled out quite a big gap on second place Energia there, and it looks like he's going to come away with the victory in this one.
It certainly does, and he's put himself with the fastest lap to boot. So just to rub it in, he's gone, I'm going to do the fastest lap as well, boys. Watch this. So he's certainly made his return to the AGT Season 2. Very well known that he is here to race, he is here to be quick, and he's made that statement this week. We'll hopefully see him up in Lobby A next week, throwing punches with the big guys, but he's going to come across the line now, around the final corner. Bazza is going to win round 2 here at St Croix. He comes home for the win. Icer Energy is going to come home in 2nd place. And
great result for him. That's a solid finish.
And Lucien Smith started 8th and is going to come home 3rd in this one. So a brilliant
and
result
only his second race in AGT.
Only second race in AGT, as you said. Irish Rebel got the lights flashing. Will come home 4th, but that'll go to the stewards post-race to see if he gets a post-race penalty for that incident with OGR stealth with BBL Shinobi, as you said. Some great results there. It's a bit of car park here at the end of this one. Yeah, a few surprises. So Sun's RT Room started on pole, and that unfortunate spin early on in this one meant that
disappointing result for him.
Drops down the order. Very disappointing. Still a top 10 result, but would have loved to see a lot more, I'm sure. Jelly Mechanic in 11th. That spin after getting caught up in that incident with OGR Stealth when he spun just meant that he was hard pressed to recover in this one. He was a fairly long way behind once he got going again. B. Purton comes home in 12th. Let's have a look at our results now. So Bazza comes home to win that one with the fastest lap of the race to boot. Icer Energy comes home in 2nd. Lucerne Smith, brilliant result, comes home in 3rd. Irish Rebel 4th. Dragons 210 in 5th. BMF Pirate Ant in 6th. Alba 7th. Porsche GT in 8th. HC Renegade in 9th. Suns RT Vroom, disappointing for him. Started on pole and just couldn't find a way back after that spin. Comes home 10th. Jelly Mechanic in 11th, B. Purton 12th, CFR Grimdeath 13th. Both guys cop damage as a result of those spinning cars early on in that race. FBR Rusty Boy as well, disappointing for him, finishes a lap down. Another car that was affected by that incident, and then OGR Stealth with the DNF. Wow, what a race, Justin. I thought it was a bit of a quiet week for Lobby B last week, so I must have spoken too soon about the quietness of it, and it's come back and we've got a lot more action this week. There's been actually really good action across both lobbies this week for both A and B. So I will have to ask you who your driver of the day is for this one. It's going to be a bit of a tough one to pick, but I've got to ask you who you think it is.
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to have to echo your sentiments from earlier and go with Lucerne Smith in that one. As you said, he, I believe, was 9th he started?
8th.
8th, so he started 8th in that one and found himself finishing in 3rd. And yeah, it was a very, very great strategy that he went with. It allowed him to jump a couple of spots in the pit cycle. And yeah, he's come home to finish a strong 3rd in only his 2nd ever race at AGT. So well done, Lucerne. Yeah, definitely showing some great pace there, and he's going to be one to watch out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. He will be one to get on. Maybe another one that we should consider for that Pro-Am title. That's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another action-packed Lobby B race. We go to Kyoto Driving Park next week at the Yamagiwa layout for 17 laps. And that'll be some action as well, so definitely tune in for that one. We're gonna be crossing our fingers that maybe we have a bit more of a cleaner race across the fields next week. It's provided a lot of action, has St Croix this week. So we thank you for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next week. For now, I've been Isaac. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.